cram and so Bobin to sa.
What the Adraman Baba by where you?
My lady.
Hele, et say, what the bow and never corner.
So I said that, dear.
No, said I never come.
You said that the one, dear, and it's uncle.
Cabere, Carnabaco. Hele, at your phone, I for so more on catching out to say.
Yamia do my higher now.
I call on what to say. Say so, or say, Uban when you say. Hele, two Mubansu every fee. Ah, when I say,
oh, 6 years.
And that's when you need. Osman will bet me a cook.
Yes.
Now, would you not school KG2. That more about to say, why?
I'm wrong on my car, Papa.
Ya party. Na you say, near me to sell and Pessi, a fiano she didn't come out a crayon watch it. And I'm a Sibra. I've only to say near Brabum, send near Meco. When your baby be a person, one.
My dear man, no credit or no, can be my dear Minya.
Now they won't pay.
So bad, they know no pay, Bema.
It be my. There's a Suban in ye. I'm
Suban, I'm to maintain.
Now, when you be out, I'll pay. So because of Bewawa. Come on, Japan. Seboga, na say, oh, who be all Ghana here.
Ghana have a beer, pay.
Sir, then my best, and I'll pay, say you'll be a Juma na, Benjuma na. Say, Ellen, dear, one I will pay. So I'm here and the same and send dear, Cajun Muda fancy, never. Now there won't no drone. I do not say yache. Mammy now, Abrocheno, so to be my wama master. The Edema on a sign to beam. David, Minister. Nedrone saying, you're doing the body back, could be 150. 150 is the 15 cities. 100 ton of 5 cities. Hey, Helen, mean petrol. Hey, epilepsy phone neuro, a drusa. Mamma, Eshemu saying, Eshemu. Hey, Nasa first near the chum. Hey, I'm in Nadia. I'm in Yanisa. Or Lacra and Vanchesa, none could I add you. 81.5 and now 1 million at 5 cities. Derby say 10 Sydney 5 cities. And 15 cities. Then no talk about no is Ebosomi saying. Derby and dear Damian Sacra no answer. Now the debut no say. Anopamino and you blame me. How time was so 10. Ellen, there was so 10 and 15 cities. It's debut not just a week, granting me for an inch. Oh, what would I do? It's a man and say, Yadianeba. And then a bassa. Nella Baba. Then can what not them? Oh, me, turn them so a ninny. And I'm an avenue papa and an auntie. Hey, see, do papa. Nay, I learning in a moon some prance to onion and swallow action. Ah, I never I see him coffee boy. Ele. No be a we are no me and Koya dear answer. Nella no near be drew. Sure. Yeah, man, so me just so I better be young say lady be I will tell you lady. Oh, please, sorry. You do President. Nella and answer na me who say TikTok. Who did in come be said you condemn ka when your manager be or manage you na. Ah, Bema be o chade so no credit da kan ye chance obe dey. Who dey say me poasa open no no credit no ka chem say men kan sem ngoni phone so. Na me dey me kan Obisam son or say now Obisam is God bless and so Obisam be Mcocan Christ dear for being my Saturday I watch almost time. Casa. Tiende Mcoca can reach it and or say be our first say be or be manage you and a bibisa. David, young yes, I yes, what the views no back a gisco until be up Casa say good phone men obey our wire the phone. I say, come and I boys are brave. Oh, yeah. Me, I'm a Ibia. The idea is I Ibia. And I, yeah, no beer. By Ibia. Yam Ibia. Away. Ellen Pijay, be another fool, be by your doy. Ofuni. You. They say, a drone here, Bushan for your bay, yes, or your epileptic. Now, Lanyamaton, Wajai. Oh, Minisco. Yadian Ninti. na just say yale we ni de le ba so na oni sika usika nyina ba shiw because the other adwuma kra so de beto duro no
nam de bi so wo pane ni so hie pane ma obi a ma me no di agro bi ko hia no so di matam pa no nche no school nyina
ada ni so hie pane bi nso ho
nde bosom bia me obi wan wo dia
na se le ase dam kakra wo mu
ohuna kan dia ba nya dam sa
eno nya dam sa na wo de ne ye de bodam ani ate
so hie
ani so hie to mo wo wa na wa ye kom
God bless you mama ye din nam ni bi di agro kama
na nya se ba mu a wo ye den ena na ukun se wa twese kan
e ba mu a mama me nam hokra na ahwe mani mam so kam ho asem mabu sesi a
ewurade asemo obi hwe wanim kra wo so wo kan ho asem
hwe me o sede me koso no
bi so ananya wo mpo na wo kan wo asem no
de me koso no
bi so ananya
sam na ye me sa tum bompa ya
na le asole nso a wagyan nso sanye
asole be
ezi si wagyan
asole de nya papa sa
da bi na sa asem be na wo kan
me pe de me pe ma
na nya asole ya wo tu mu no
me be konkra mu
ne din ba na ka wo be fankra mu din ben
muni
ada na ho na opi
din na de kama
enti mi pa cho ahwefo am hwe ye ne etifo ye bai ele ye ne na ye program ene de oso pemwa na dru tabrochifo mo meboa Ghana fo bia ele ana koma ye ma me ba koma master no UK obeto obi ma na o yes die mi ele wa sole ya wo ni continue obeto ma ese osi waja sole die
ba me nya ni saade
unye nya ni saade na ele em sen ka wo fa be ma nso anka beboa wo
be ma na no ya sumnya bi die ono so ye comfort
ko be sawo ya die
ono dani nua ewo busia side ono so dani nua
o yire
o so twempran ba ne ba na jai
ti ko so be sawo ya de no awale wo
ba chan
na ni ada no wanti ase
hwe ma ti ase dada ba akra ma freno no so ba ha o ba cha da so ne
na woni na hiem
nhia se ya kasa na sa atofa de nhia be da ona ho kra tun se na yi be dede
udi die na be hu na no ele we be ifu ana
mami
we de na udi be hu
na me ma fa mu nyina se me na hu se be de be da me hu ba ko be su be
konfo na woni usuro ni ko dana na kom ba se no so be hu
anu ka na be ma yi na kontem o so nyina na mo ba adwuma
o ye de
o so nyina na mo ba adwuma
wa wo so ne hu akom na ba no
ne de no ne bia ye bi sada
Ellen uni abe ya sem wo yo ba se be ma ne oba be da no be to ne ho se na se wo dwene ho se
na atuma se nya wa hu na be fai uni mze nya na be fai so se o ye ne ye ne de no ne me ma de bi nya papo ni sha se do kro kama na no ko ye no ofu ko ye se do kwan ya obobu otuko nyina akra ka ho
etika wanka be de atu uni abe wanka be ndi
menti ase mama odi agro na ntim kra aflo na makwa de no ko nenye me de oba family opem ya no aka chem so opem nya se me hunu me koye na nya na bi so dada me am ne no koye ya dada me ne ko yi sta ya kase nyina yi
yo Ellen o asembe na mka kire wo ye show yi nyame wo mu ye papa bi afra America se se aso send $100 now dia ye de akotadura ma
oh god
aya wa wo papa tichira da se ho na ono be hye mrama ye no e wa ha no aya no bi be chema be fosoma na $100 yes e fa ngotaduro ma wo ati ye de ni nyina be taduro ene minimum abije fadada ma ye one said oba man so ye de ni nyina be taduro ye de be guare katom ye de aso wo ye first kan ma wo dana ngodi
mama mfa bi nto de
wo wa
pania no sme
wo si ye kire ya de anka pania se hello
kire ya le no so kan ni so
hello
yeah hello
daddy good Ghana de good afternoon America ba say
I feel about a night 20
yes morning
morning yeah
yo daddy ya da se pa say wo se wo be boa ye be ama ye Ellen
okay let's sending to the
yo epileptic hana dwen po ya kola na oton ne ma kama na oswa ne ma na yale ne ba otware ani ewie ne sika ne ne ma nyina
hey ohin ne mate with like budget like yeah I recognize you what okay
yeah you mate me so me das patron ya froze odi for mo se
yeah odi for
yansa for odi for brown odi for baba odi for baba yo we are still working on it definitely odi for will come to some pankomo nti ye ni gusuani management kasa nti odi for baba nti mo de munya abotrema ye
yo
yenso da masem taichi nti sande ma abrante na afu ni kura no why na abi je mami shira le nso ma we so ye di for tutuna honhom hawa wa no hey Ellen ma train wo be sende ye di ni nyina me se ne ye di begu kadalakatom
sem di am di fu a cho se mo mon pa se be ma so be fa no so me dada me eni me nko yista ka se bi
na le ada wo be ko no ho no star ben why wadwe se wo de be kwa ko face
ni nkramofo ni nyina de me sin nkramofo de na kwantemu se obutu asana
de unu aba iko ye
ono ye ni se ma
wo so anu su ko butu ho
nenya de to butu asa ko so ani mba kama to di shema pa she kolonko na edam
wo butu ana ko so ani mai den
mu ba kama to di shema pa she kolonko na edam
yeah new year yo where walankaki bonza music enya sam ketwa na abebo woto
sine den asi chiro kra anya desa
Shadrack me pa cho mo me birthday ni e flyer no why na abi je ba ko iska na ba sisi ansa ne asori na me si aduro no abrampa munto nwa da kam
ma panen so nwombe
wa mpege ya nwa pane o gire wo ho no
please sorry okay I say for there don't have anything okay sorry
Ellen ka ko school ka beti brofo
school dia man ko
na do na ujaye school
ko headmaster me yi madi
Shadrack I ready ko bro headmaster
me kan na credit ya lesim de bia me kan mo se me mfa da kro de ma fa nche number 1
yes it's kana by 1460 na is 14.6 Ellen say ne mfa ntwa duru no
14 million
and 60 cities da so Ghana se
vanya mi shira be nyina chawa ya te mu da so ba ko heaven mi na me gina kana no hontin
na wo be gina kana
nyami ni pelingo de white mi amini o
Ellen God White ne de utu obi ana
there be asode for no be na de to me
SD for na de say de ne to
she ma chiro for no na de to
e de for
she ma chiro for no
e no ase chire say
so am ka asode ampo asode no mo to nyum she am wa chiro ho na ma no so aje so me she o na me ma na san ka o ba fa kete ne ka ho ne e ba ya nchi ye nta se mu ye ko ba ka fa chiro
yo abusia for yanko yenhwe yanko Adum K Johnson Oyetechima North NDC communication officer enrana kwabena edina woda baby obi a mesre woturu hira edema no belated birthday sweethearts unyami hira papa oso no ne sai personal assistant edema honorable Elizabeth Ofosuejare MP Techima North oba no abatampalizi ne body pen adom enrana wudi wa woda me yi apaye mam se uhunu mu unkoden wa hofama a wo nti onyame baby a wo pese ukoduru bia wa brabom no onyame mfa nkoduru ho pa emaye yeda ase bibre yenkoye ni mai flyer bi ka ho ya maami Felicia Jesse e friend efia ya maami mia madie nyina Mrs Eva Amwate Trinity Presby and ne maami da form edame meni dawo ye be ye no ba fasare Chibimpon ahimfie na chi Techima Donten ahimfie chi oye mekoni e wo Presby nye maami na mekoni na ne ba no Eva oye mekoni nti edaye so edaya bam anopa no nsia ye pon mekuo pe na ye nyina ye kone akwa akochia woni abusua no ama na bere watia akata na chi ama na ye fefefe ye papa Moaten onu na wo ye NCA enti asem da ne so papa enti emakuofo mo nso de na munue na ne maame da fom uniso menyo Gladys Owusu nya ku Grace nom mu nyina mo nkeka ka mo ho na ye nkonkoboa na enye fefefe yedamase ayeden obeden enti na chese de wo ho anu no nti Ellen tonkra zadofo meboa why muti adawo Ellen me pa cha wo de di kan etwire yade no ohaw ben ni wom se yade ni bi ba so de ohaw na de brew
ani yale no de ba na mama ni so shi na mama fo kumtim ai chada so fo nzongo fo nyina na nkofo flafla fo hin ma ni jana ko bla ni dam tu funu ma nzongo fo nyina ka gom so ma ntimi am so ko fo mu no me ba mutam ho de
na spirit bi ana
I don't ndem ntimi nja ampo
sa
me ka bia spirit pa
ade kro na ele e ba wo so a wo hu ana
ai ana bibi obeshi o mbo me kra me ntese o bo me ntese o bo me o mutimi chichi
be ele me pa to etwire no etwa wo de wo to fom na fa ebre be ne sama wunya titi roma afo akokodrufu ahode power sa ba wo so no
power
sa wo se e ba sa na wo ho aye dendenden sa de ne de wo to fom na tambe na ma ho ye dendenden
amani so titimi a ba na sem so de ya me twa hwe ya me so de dia
eni obia
ubedi matempa sem ye yale for dia me fa ho ncho me ma na ga to fo so nyina o so mi wo ubeso mi ne fra fo
e ba sa se be mu obo wo ne beku
oni me ko ane de no hwe na ntimi na de ne shafo ma so na yi na chimte se ne ote bo fra ya ndia o wi
no aso ne shwa se de wote bo fra no
no atwen se ono be twa hwe no aso de ko ta na mi de ya me ya no kare de da no aka
enti yade ne ha dwen
ma menye yade aka mi se mi si wo se nka se kra ka enyem ho ade enti manima se chichiwe de prekasa mi
na obi ba wa kwam so be wale wa ya wo ka kire ne se yade ne ha
nem dika ka mi se
wo de wo mfansie
mo mi se brampa chamen konfo ikra be fam dika ka kire se brampa chamen na menti apom ye yare fo ti men pesam no be kwa akoda wie na kire ko kan se me ma adwenye ntitu na midi
so ka no kro
ya ye ko fiansa na papa mon kama asem nyina nkyerɛ o ka kyerɛ na apem dia so de ko
ono so ati ase so no betra
yes my do you good wanyini pa ya blante
kama
no ho so fe
na unsuro komfo
mama
ana wo nam a wo be wi enti
na mama wi enti
Joy Can Roofing Company Limited for so ya be a self flock MS standard Chiro Charles allo zengene hu ne nyina obe ne kama so e de amount me pa cho wo pese wo board o down so wo be boso e de amount obe ma free estimate so ko ban papa me any police station brigade ena ye wo me pa cho 0540125816 a bishop say wo dem pemprade fi aso yen papa gusu adan so e de es
ye nyina ye kwa kutobi
say wo tu akoton wo to ne 0598 585219 me pa cho give us P capsules
yenko jibi
ma udu isine ma ti
na udai ya kona kwa jibi
ma no Johnson tentem ya le
nyina be free ho
give us go capsules be to ayem ti ene ho ne me nyina na give us ba me sane to malaria me pa cho e 0543222470 Dawood Herbal Clinic
Dr. Way oya de
se jimi kwata edwaman ne
ko nyina
ya de biada wo sa
wo kapa
wonum 360 no
na the ointment
no chichu ni pedia 0241244012 me pa cho chamfo ba
o se yade nyina be twanne
me pa cho
nyina yemfia ni nchirem
say yes spinal injury
yankwa jibi no hwe ye
yankwa na ya yotiti me pa cho gonorrhea na ejeje wo
obetu ase ama
obetu a umi na ewu no 0244988004 me pa cho edusa
ma me edusa o se ma dance ni
me pa cho say ye koko
na onhwaw
ana se wo brayo mu ka wo pedua ni tu ye wo edusa malahe
to malaria
say na kwa
tumi ne ntuo
pedua 0500 110 115 Sarakoba Unisex Fashion
ye nyina mfie ni nkyirem ye nkwaje ntare papa
10% discount
ye nyina kwa jibi atade bia
brade bags a wo do ye ne swame ye wo swame ye ne sompa dan ni die anim 0244 797 215 na yenko yenim enti na je say twere ade de elen so obi kaso be ma wa ese o pa ne chewo so obi ka pra kaso be bo dua de say ade na ma wa elen se udwane o mebo a enye ya papa ba inside say be e wo wa e betumi aye obi etesa
bi betumi no spirit mu ne de
enya spirit en fa ne se honam mu obi say be ade ne ba na obi so mu e betumi asa eno de entesa
anyam kra be hira so aso no mu de na akọ
ato hof boko jo ma me yenko eni
yama yetiefo nyina hapa na yama mu nyina nso akọ abanso my lady who ya fe o
medase pa nso mu ayefe
na sekra na ewie die nkomo aye bebo no eye offcyst supplement aba ema nyina agi atum e wo Ghana ma nyina
na obi a testimony na me pekra de asan doctor batimi hu oso onya ne menses akafra eyi ti semrebo e wo kwa na yi se benya normal menstrual flow no oni de yi ti se emrebo it was oba conference ni bi no to mienu onu mienu ni wie no na fe no anya ne normal se oba bi ebu ni sa moja ne ba normal yi na jai enti offices na minshira doctor wo de ba e pa
no kwasem enye wonko an wo de no mpo ya afoforo so frɛ eka say omo menstruation no moja ne ba e ba te say brebo se na wo kana na ekobasa omo nom ye no aboa ma se say etimi flow normally se na moja enane a e ba no sa na tie inti offices tie supplement a obabia hia bi obabia se wo bu nsanko an dia obetimi afiase anom supplement bi am na yi na de ma ye ni gisa supplement hu ne say obabia at some point in time no hormones ne be distort either say wo wrap puberty mu ana wo be ye menopause ana say wenya wo menopause ankasa na ekobasa ma wo hormones ne distort na de be ma hormones ne timi ya balance ye no ehwehwe mu che say so for supplement a mayo inositol any vitamin E ewo ma eboa pa e ma wo hormones ne etimi e balance na yen supplement so sa na ya ye no o hwe ho a wotum say enuane nuro ena yedi aye supplement inti enye aduro onomo a enya de say the side effect bia bebrel aloe vera ne cinnamon na fe vitamins a whole raw minerals eno na yedi aye supplement inti obia betimi afa bi basa emanije bafie chese obi wo honom kra wa hospital ama doctor ka che ne say wanya ovarian cyst ya dia etimi esi ma ya wo ho kwan pa obi wono ma okọ hospital doctor timi ka che ne say wanya PCOS ni nyina supplement be boawo ama hormones na e balance a ekobasa cyst bia no etimi nane kama doctor de obeka che say odi opa akotwa scan na hwese ne assistant ne kesi esitie nanom supplement of cyst after some time san akotwa bio ubehu say ekokra ana ayeketwa shrink kra ekobasa ema ho awo ho nye den sania senka cyst ne wo ho no mo anka be ye no inti ye recommend of cyst ema nyina say oya obi abofra na bia okwa SHS okọ school a menstrual pain ya dia e ha mo pa ema dusua ye ya etoda onko class wa onko so na obi ehun so asemesi de bibi say ba sa na nsa no on si class da nanso se auto supplement bi mano no de ko school a ono ankasa obeba be di hu adanse obehu say se de ne menses no aba kama e ban so a flow ni normal flow ni say 6 and 5 days no kama enko ba say obenom supplement na fe 2 days send ya woman straight that na 2 days 3 days so media sa na metie da bi offer supplement ya be hu say changes abemu pa na ebe boa ama menstruation na kama ebia na ya catch us say wo infertility issues ebia ovaries na ntu yie eba sa o de pe supplement bi a kira kwan nanum bi obehu say ovulate ya 2 weeks no one kasa obehu say wa ovulate so my bi na eba no bo onom kwa ofra otimi ka say me de sa de no kwa de mi hu bi da o na che say ni ovulation ne egg no kwa ntimi kwa ntu yie nanso so for supplement ya obehu say wa ovulate na kwabasa echese kosua no ato kama obi ehyiam a obetimi anyinsen amana yeye ebi nso obeka say bia o de wo low libido aha so for supplement ya ebeboa ma bibia aye kama ma energy nso abafie inti ye recommend this supplement ma nyina doctor obeka cho say o ya oba na we bi nsi table so de na we yakechi to bi si table so sanopa na opese onom na nopa say yenwumra so a no anom na enwumra maye ekobasa obehu say ovarian health no aye kama hormonal imbalance etimi ma wonya mood swings mood basa obi kasa ho na obu afu ni nyina eye hormonal imbalance na se wonom of sister ebebo ma hormones na balance ye ecnix ni ade ye be menstruation na abegu ye anim no ni nyina se hormones ne balance ya ebeboa ama ni nyina akokra nti si yetie for omom hwe on TV so ni omom tie on radio ye pese ye boy numbers no se na be ya omo so betumi afre na se omo asembi se bia o mabisa 0596 607 858 0596 607 858 MTN number yin so san ye WhatsApp nti se wentimi amfre a obetimi a WhatsApp ya doctor no be kasa kama audio na person de send na fa send no scan na wakotwa obetimi de send no be reply or kama so tell us so na person of free 0500 210 133 0500 210 133 eno so yen telecell no eno so ye betimi afre say yen fa ne say obi akwa contraceptive for a very long time maybe on person obenyin sen afa de ho kwan na ba o person oyi na onyin sen na so awoni mu atwe be 2 months 3 months afa infiem yenu eya akwa achiri dodo yesrew no supplement bi mai ebeboa ma hormones na contraceptive na distort ye no ebeboa ma na balance kama eba sa anyinsen ebetimi apie mu ama na yi nti ye dro idie obi a wontimi fa bi obi a wanyinsen anasa o ma akoda nufo so one menstruating kwa dia obetimi afa supplement bi ama na yi okọ pharmacy shop bia o de o se ope offcyst analysis chemical shop o se ope offcyst obasom pa fie ha obenya offcyst ni biato ebeboa ama bibia ya kama pa your numbers no 0596 607 858 and afa 0500 210 133 yes science or medmal tablet ne tablet na afa suspension tablet ni ye for penifo no na suspension ye mmofra no inti se wako hospital ama doctor akacha say bia wanya chidi mu wani bia ofa medmal tablet no for penifo no na afa suspension no for kola na obehu se wo ho akeka si ani pa inti Medpoint Pharmacy yen na ye de offcyst any afa medmal tablet e de aba ye de bua Ghana fo nyina inti ye hye nkran se mukọ pharmacies ahora mu betimi abisa supplement bi na ebeboa eman nyina
yara say Medpoint Pharmacy for ne de medmal tablet ni offcyst aba eman nyina age atuma ye de so Mr. Champion pacho abena atena se afia se sika no yenye manonte no ebende se osu wani onye dia yenye manafi yemfre boy na yene ne trase nti bende ani sika na se ode na ade ma no
mama wo mama wo nti me kwa amasande na ade
mesra wo se wo pese boy no abrantie no e compensate you dia sister no send ni sika ma no because on the se be oba so obeboa
yo
why ti mesra nti afia se ye wie ya woko
pachan
ifri akọ hono kwan wa
kwan wa
be me how many hours
on said 2 hours
and tu ko dura mesre wa nenu condemn Ellen pachot na ha ko iska na ba why condemn tra na sem we dem pese wa do gym na baby abrantie ko nhira wo bi ada because yes who probe tete food akone akora we onya asem yes ye wa ha na ye bo nipa ko nhira no de obi ba say obi aha no sa ye bi di akiri eti asumdwemra say efies kapa so onya ni sika na oni me ba ne adwene
on share dan can say or just say free ko nhira ho
ye busano say na
2000 pen on buy or can
what the patawa akoma beto yem
500 million
50,000
Entima eno na ma kofi ne medi nkomo ka che say nipa makoma konan na sha akora ye chi a o mo ne ne ko ne sa because of this amount
why you don't know so be
ma oh there been say social media ya wonam so
obi she na chi a yes say what wonye ne hwe na ede no obi abesha kura ye chi
oh yeah eno de obi anso na me ka say bi na me ka support you
okay
woni ne ni hwe ya me kura me ka say ede no koda ne dua no wo de send o say wo mo aye afa me no di nkomo so kura no
abra de dua ne send ko nhira no ka say
ono akwaye no me di send no no call oye video ko to TikTok say eye ma me na efe na lobby against and send this kind
no na man be say video
si ano ni ministry ye bi
what I say enti di wadan say woni na ye bibi say woni ne ye bibi di ade no koda ne dua de beto ya wani ko age ko be comment wo so woni na ye bibi ba ma de wo mu ne say wo ba ye 24 na 500 million no de wo ko soro ba fam ko je heavy abofo no betra asase su kra emu half kra wonya ade na wo yesa ne je say won so wadwe ye wo say wo de sa bra no ne be nante asase so
condemn na obi so na se kan kan wo nale ne
ma de wo mu ne say na se me pacho ma bibia ko
say so ni ko jesu man kwai se ya na sante ma
so man kwai
wa ko na su man kwai na sante na wo ba wo ni na da se na se kan kan
na wo de say
ko ni ma mi ase kan kan ko da me nye ko
oh mama me said the ni mo mama de me support to abrante no mama de me ka o ti ase me try my best to see about solve case no but my yanka no kwanche say 500 million onya emu pata kwa wonya
eni ho
what I don't think also yes sir
woni ko nchira
David mama ade ba ko mu mama tie
woni ho
so akase tie akwa ene mama a eyam from so we are not supporting him ye ni wo ye raba omia ne kan me and you were not there sir say oni evidence say so akase tie o ma me ka sai na mu yan support to say Bema no oba be da no obedidi na tem ana woni oba na ekra be ka say tia oba yen so I'm a pastor me advice obi na me nka so na mu be say me nka nko si say wo to money for no to craft so buy a credit nam so oba 5 na me on twin sai na mu ano e be ma ne ho kwa ya him more then obi ayo wa wo je 500 million fe no
one na that
no 500 million ohunu bi da
one na that to ne
ho obi da wo ma ne 500 million
eh
what will be done? Yaman 500 and 10 cities grow 10 cities 10 cities in our 5 cities in doing in our home. Or quite all man is saying, oh, my sister cities and what concern and you would dear, can you say about it be on your bar? Bema friend, why would you dress a question book or so? No, go on, said Ross. No one said Ross. No one said Ross. Mama,
boy no fa piara na
that don't fa piara me bisa say sending small kai mama me question is me bisa and e man yin nsem pi oba wan ka say amana 3500 wanka o say man na man sika fine Matthias ye 2 say scan ko be je fra brand on kan afi no obi na no aka so wo je 500 million
e je nka say wonya ko nchiran kan nti wo no wo de wo wadwim bia na boy no wo hwe case ni mu duro na bi obenya
mama onya na me che say so obenya kura no a ense sakule what this administration ni trim
no correct
we say na we yakwa bonne I don't know what you say. Me no be ma danti o ma me 500 million.
One casa.
That's the business that want to start.
What to ne hono.
I know they so you condemn.
I
know they condemn. In a compensation in 500 million. And 200 million. Yes.
Me da say.
I don't want 500 million. Say.
As a lady in
I said what is that Subani show? What is that? And the young Cassentia boy no one Obewie na oba no pacha wo ma me kwa kasa tia wo ma me eye mfunso na ye ma me ne kasa na ma me ne bo na eche no afedia no so ye no aye but men can't just wo 500 million don't say that fafa wo yesa na say adwuma no wasi wa bi so obeye because me kan wa hai wo kan pisa wo be je
ye condemn esi
wo ba je ne say
ya breko esra wo
obaje dia ne na bra no sa bra na abeso obo ene na sa suba na abeso de na tv ase ene na sa suba na abeso on the other na do as say so
na so enipa ene ya
mama de wo me say ya wo kene na ba ya sabi eni obi na ye ayi e de support o mama e ba ye plan fa so wo di asem ye better obi papa it na have support all right okobodua wa me bo bi ama
eno mi se condemn see men kan kire ni say onya men kan say onya because who ni kon hia ni botom na wa ma se onu so onya akasa etie ni onu so wo bom ko wo firi mi ana wa antentam a wo beto aso eti kon hia no
eti mama ye ntu no fo
wo de condemn be pa chaw abna nyabotre Bipa chopole na yebreko asem no poya ka biada 1 minute ye miefu ye be de tie fon so beka
me dance pa na asem nyina ne se enfum so no enya aba
no kre
na sebe nye aware na kodai okoye
dabi
sana esa no mame kan sa enu ntine ekoba ne se no a ye mfa yaw enka asem dachi binti tine me ka kire abaye ni se sebe se crash no ekukuru sika se dien edemanu a odi a ebesa
no kre
na odi asem so chia na mfa hwenche ti no obi wa okura asem se no timi ka se be jam na kamedi ache eno kura mpo ni so no nipa no benya
andi wa mfanchi
so enti no ni America ni sabaya
so compensate
o compensate wa wo de ni e wa kanu se kodu ba bi se wo mo se bia wo nya na ti so a brafo
ana sende wa kana kwa
what
de ya obeteso
what kind of very good enti no enkeska kesiesa nipa no kwa obesi so anko hye woma woko ese no
2000 kura ko dani 10 cedis
wow enti me ya kan se nya botre wat na brafo na se na wusi ekasa no to bo ase
ene ya mi ze champion
ene ya aminim sa
edi a wani na so se wo fi mu enfe odi wode tete wode wo be wie na no nyina ahye na yekuru
why brafo
o kwa no se bia wamprane na nko be shepant
na dibenti na shepant ko so tutum ka ko
yo me to na 1 minute
aba we se nso no se be so mam na sam no
ellen dia no yes rado for mo boil na abi da ko iska na
no so fe ala nwofe
o nko yimra ye wiese nko yimra ne mfa bi nko taduro ni
ala nwofe ne kasa nso ani ka
ni ngina be taduro
woni ne tna obe ma wasre sa kama enu ntimi ye ka ne se Helen
ye mfa ni ngina taduro
nyari shemu wate wonu maduro na obedi dins of mama ni waka ne
men kan wa ewia
why enti ne of mama obedi dia ya mo beto no
wo pese dis kan mama ye mfa taduro
dabe enu de
obowa debi ya beto ne ha ya ama wo debi awaje obi sika twaduro ya beto bi wa ha ma
ne fata na ye fama no
me pa chopole na tonton
my lady me da say you mesre condemn ne say wo se ne ba ne aba mu an de ya ne wo nkasa nkire no ai won tu ne fo na da roma sentin say durum le bi ensem bi wo ho no mo an kwase mu ni enfonso oba ebufuo ba ne ne ma ba ye mie ya no nka ekwan bi so te mesre me nua ba ma condemn say won tu ne ba no efo na ma abran so yenka bibi mfa nkire wo to bu ase da bia me ka me se wuti wei e bi kura wo ye president bi yire da achi o e bi kura wo ye osofo bi yire da achi na de wo ye wa brabo e beduru ma bi amoa wo meje 500 million de 500 million de ma sisi abaye ndey eti mesre wada roma ai so so kan no ebufuo no de kan ye enti brafom
chese de ro de do pa ni sa branch ni nyintum keke na etu ntwire ba bi
na my lady na wanyi ntuma anyo no kobo dua de send video send no
eni pa bebe be wo wiase wo fun so ne didu ya be send uji na no so de betena se yakasem
ma obi atu ya de ama wo so na aka so de 2000 wiase na eta 10 cedis any 70 cedis di ma bra for mo ate na toto ne ma yie na bibia be kama my lady das
me funi
my lady abebe ya se me da ho no nya asem ketu an da ho sa no se akodura himfi amaledi enya asem ye bete se de sofo kan no eduru ba bia ye fa bible de no nto na ye nkɔ nananom ho so ni ye nkyire mu nkyire nipa se wo beto oba ho nase
kankan
maledi
wo bi esu na etuba
ade na unya ho
na wo fa wa de ni him
na wo nkɔ ba
na so tudi wo
maledi
ebon so di ko te
abebe ba bia na bufu aduro bia me support no ba bia na bufu aduro bia krat ni me kanya nsasem fa nkyire no de waka no me see so see
ma me ma wenne akopem Friday say yanti boy nka eduada sanbra
manage
atrasem no so na fe de ya hunu se oma na yen ekwan ya ye be kire wo
che malady
eno ane de kwana asa
ensem ha ensese koduru ba bi aduru no
ya ma na akopem Friday ya ya be kwana asante ma yen ya be di animu
ya kwana
asante ma oni afre no e ho de afre no obeba
na onkonko dware no maame na asumdwe mra efise ade kankan de yemfa nkofie eti konsira de a wa ye no malady yanka che sofo condemn se ne ban na one ne nkasa me abebe obo 1 billion kra ka me support no malady se wan ko hono man ka asem ni ho wa ko ne de na asem aba ho o so ye ho de etu obo ye no eye kasa ni atena se ko nsira menya 100 na abeba na je
so kantan kranka usu o se ye meja pade de eden apampa kakra bu o se ye japade de wa emu ya kroje da ede se pampa kakra o se no ne wono de wo pe ya ne de pampa wo mu no emu aye no ye frɛ no kosiri
ayo malady wabin
pampa kakra jine
wabin
kosiri bosa ajo kwa na uti
malady edi malady yanka bibi nkyere ko nhyira na o meimu ade
ya ba ko so de felix ono so send 1000 ono so ahe America for damase wo sire papa na bo teacher da so ono na why obogase why obogase say ya wo ba be ya yi no
malady
this can ya be dibi
so say no ho den
so ho de brother
ya akanne no opo mi enhia
20 million mi yibi
wo be gina ha wo bu afu na kasa se de na wo kasa na me papa se na papa se
papa so bi e de ahoma be twen
o de
papa no wo tumi franco gina so
ya to ne nkra o papa di ne say
DJ Rascopa
o Rascopa o na ka kira eye ele se wono ba woni yamra me de ne wono yamakonya sa na fo sanfa presi ncheme ha ele me nam di ka be fa wo bai DJ Rascopa wan ka say ye
nipa no dana se o say friend Felix ono so send 1000
da Felix nyame nhira wa show na mu be nyina che atemu da so be ko heaven
amen
pano so konfo na o ti wanya no me ehunu mo ma ye ehunu no wa me ye ehunu mo ai
fa na be che ai
ni nya mo adansefo asa na one na dana ka ko no
na ka ko no na dansa
awamba
ai
na ka ne koda
ko kan na oba ke bedo
o se be ba ho
enna no
oba he
enna no oba nyumle
oba be hia
oba ma me mo ho
ya fe na wo kona wa kodwale esesi o hu
me adwale de ma dwale
wa dwale fiti aka no
se ba adwuma wi ani emi no asan ko
na adwonso emu pampa mem
oba e wa ba dwonso mahu oba e okọ ho mi hu yi ele jaye mi hu ni
pampa mem
me ndesi na si to kama de Johnson kwa pampa
malady boko
931920548 93192 asompanko mabuchafo edamase Ghana for se de magia 2 edamase pa epeja na maso mu abojirefo nyame hwam hello
papa
mi rampa chodi yentiu
papa ya odisi ibai banda
yo even sentiu enya kola sa media yamano nyese juada bra ebeko na asante ma wate ebedi animu ni akọ tietietia na oni beko akotwa na menum se enkoduru ho because me be fie sika pa no yakola woni mu nyansa one so fama me ne be kasa ne ni na hia ko nhira mesra wo me pewasem wo maame mesra wo ma yenhia enani kine ya na yensetra kolai na somdwemra na ye onya medwuma na nyonko a na waye bi da Young Kwan, what for bar? Oh, hello. One, hello. 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 Me rampacho yenti o. Hello. Yete on kampacho kasa. Afternoon. Me hoye. Dear he. Aha, mabna.
That's a no. One guy didn't come. Not what say,
also a hookup. Bra so a hookup o one year hookup o ko hokọ ye den. Ah, omo no mo se kira omo jede. Omo so omo se kira no. Ah, omo no mo se kira omo jede. Onko de wo de obi de na aba na e bedru so. Ghana de pem say ye pull him down syndrome. Obi asem ba na ya fa ho ne egu nipa ni mu ase. Mo ye kira mo jede ya mo ye kire ho. Hello. 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 Pacho yentio.
Hello.
Dada yete unka kasawai.
Good afternoon.
Diana.
Hello, good afternoon.
Mentie o ho wai kasa.
Me pacho, me pacho bibisa condemn say ono so membra won mo no na tell.
Dabi eno de onyesa. Yeah. Yes sir. Hello. 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 Pacho yentie o. See when you're 20 million. We are das. Abraham Papa Monto Droni be manansa no akoni enfes kan kai manenko. Yako Casablanca. Hello. Pacho yentie o.
Hello.
Eja yentie o kasawai. Afternoon.
Pacho, what's how?
Ah, o kasa osompa.
We always program na kapita na the panoma no na.
Ah, o kasa oso program ni so no wa free.
Okay. We boy now on again na pata no je ka e ba na boy.
Ah.
What is it? Why do you so proud?
Ah.
Why do you so proud?
Ena ye nyina ye nwanwe.
So, what again na there ya no mo na ma no na. E dey wa na boy ni di go dem na so so no. Wọ́n sọ fún yẹn wọ́n pọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ tó wọ́n máa ń lóbi dájẹ́ sẹ́nu wọn láti fún wọn ẹ̀dọ́ rẹ̀. So, ẹ̀jẹ̀ tó kọ́ lẹ́nu ọ̀tún mọ̀ kọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ lójú òjò lọ wọ́n ti kọ̀ òkú náà fún aṣọ òkú náà ẹ̀dẹ́ àbọ̀ ẹ̀dẹ́ fi ṣàpọ̀. So, ètò mẹ́lẹ́ bọ̀ ẹ̀mí ìdàkà náà ti àdé ìṣẹ̀ náà.
Edase, yes, Edase. Hello. Bama Abraham, I'm serious. Who could draw send this canama ye never face capacity man. Hello. 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 Hello.
Hello.
Pacho yentio.
Hello.
Yentio dada.
Hello.
Yo yentio uncle. Yate won kakasa. Oh.
Mi pacho fe young man or na or see boy when you study no on ka say. But madam to be or you get me say young man or such or say guy no get study no. Madam Bikoyaki, Abana Bonadam.
Yo, Matari FFF, me free. Ladies in, and I ask sorry ho. So the papa be out the cover be ladies in bed dress. So come on. The number is 0541 804 035 041 180 4035. Meeting so come on. Asana ne boma me o techi my tekun sama kwa na no pe nsa no fo kwa bebo ne kama so e di amam yamfa last caller na yensole. Hello
personal level, I have had to pay a heavy price for my stance against the government mismanagement. Mr. Speaker, my recent prosecution, or call it persecution, by the Attorney General over frivolous and trumped-up charges was calculated to silence, intimidate, and completely extinguish a known dissenting voice. Right, Honorable Speaker, my crime, Mr. Speaker, was that I sounded alarm bells on an economy that was being mismanaged and ruined by an act and omissions of a select few in government. The fact that my prosecution began in the wake of the tussle over e-levy should not be lost on anyone, that I became an instant target for the regime. Mr. Speaker, I was charged on the Christmas Eve, a few days after the rejection of the e-levy and the 2022 budget. Right, Honorable Speaker, from that point, the Attorney General and the Minister responsible for Justice, Godfred Yabuadame, in whom the prosecutorial powers of the state is vested, was determined to deploy all crude tactics, including the use of subterfuge, to achieve his ends of malicious prosecution just to satisfy the regime. Mr. Speaker, the whole world witnessed how a supposed Minister of Justice set out to coach, cajole, and coerce another accused person standing trial together with me to falsify his testimony and skew it in such a manner as to enable him to procure a conviction at all costs against an innocent person. In the process, Mr. Speaker, Godfred Yabuadame, who is the principal legal officer of state, engaged in crimes such as witness tampering, conspiracy against accused person, fabrication of evidence to pervert the course of justice, and professional misconduct, contrary to the ethics of the very legal profession he heads. I believe this has been the story for many Ghanaians during this period. Right, Honorable Speaker, never in the history of our nation have we witnessed this level of gross professional misconduct on the part of no less a person than the Attorney General and the Minister responsible for justice, who is the leader of the bar and bears a high responsibility to adhere to the rules of ethics of the legal profession. Mr. Speaker, I'm not against prosecution of wrongdoing. Whilst our democracy is founded on the rule of law and holding public officers accountable, I pray that never again should any of our citizens become a victim of this level of injustice and abuse of prosecutorial powers that I was subjected to. Right, Honorable Speaker, despite the painful experience, I count it as part of the hazards of politics and service to the people of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, as the clock strikes midnight, a new to those returning to the 9th Parliament, I say congratulations. Colleagues who will not be part of the 9th Parliament, I urge you to walk with your heads high. Right, Honorable Speaker, I beg to say that Ghana appreciates your service and your contributions. Be proud because you have worked for Mother Ghana. I look forward to the 9th Parliament, characterized by mutual cooperation, diligence, and hard work in pursuit of the aspiration of our people. This juncture, let me thank the gallant 137 members of the NDC caucus on behalf of the NDC leadership. Special thanks goes to Honorable Emmanuel Ama Kofibua, the Deputy Minority Leader, Honorable Govins Kwame Abuja, the Minority Chief Whip, Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim, the First Deputy Whip, Honorable Comfort Doyo, the Second Deputy Whip, chairpersons and ranking members from the NDC caucus, the Speaker, the backbench of the NDC Minority Caucus. And let me also thank the Honorable Collins Dauda, the one who has contested every single election since 1992, for his hard work and dedication to democracy. Mr. Speaker, colleagues, aside our disagreement, there were moments of cooperation across the aisle. I want to use this opportunity to thank all members of the 8th Parliament. To the Parliamentary Service, thank you for your hard work. To the Parliamentary Press Corps, what could we have done without you? You have been an amazing group of people that we cannot stop but to thank you. Thank you once again. Fellow countrymen and women, thank you for enduring the worst government in Ghana's history. So, Speaker, I dare say that to fellow Ghanaians, don't be despaired. There is hope. God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. Right Honorable Speaker, I cannot end without mentioning the Honorable Cletus Avoka, the former leader of this House, who has been one person that I've always resorted to for advice. I thank you so much for your cooperation and hard work. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Ebusia sama wakwa ba parliament ye do right no mo close parliament as we speak. The enimne say parliament in Kadumi no ana 11:59 na nka 8 parliament o mo de akogu ene ensakraya ba reset ni bi na efrase fi parliament no resetting efrase fi parliament ya ye ka say minority leader ato forcing ene wabo nkro efa de esi ye wo 8 parliament wo no okra na obe target bra 11 kwan mo fa so a Wamusasa leadership and levy issues and a floor of parliament na fe nti we now ni say majority leader so ebeka goodbye message and also ye be parliament ni akwa kofa majority leader afenyo markina enche obey minority leader, but I can tell you say from the minority side almost all the leadership will change. Yeah, go back
to give these closing remarks, putting out my own views about this House as it comes to an end by midnight of today. It's a moment of emotion for me, having had the opportunity to lead the House a little over 9 months, and the fact that, Mr. Speaker, by tomorrow, I will be seated to the left of Mr. Speaker, leading the charge for and on behalf of the minority. Mr. Speaker, you rightly paraphrased your description of this 8th Parliament on various platforms and fora, and stated that it's been remarkable, characterized by unique milestones and challenges that have tested our democratic principles and governance. Mr. Speaker, one defining feature of this parliament was its near equal composition, with 137 members from each side and 1 independent member. Notably, this parliament elected the Speaker of the House from a party of the opposition, something which was and still continues to be novel development to our democracy. We also had an equal number of female representation from both sides of the aisle. 20 female members apiece, bringing female representation to 40, that accounts for 14.5%, the highest female representation in Parliament ever recorded in our 4th Republic. This Parliament, at both sides of the House, has had the course to change their leadership in order to give opportunity to some members to serve in the front bench. It is therefore right to conclude that the 8th Parliament truly pushed our parliamentary democracy to its limits and tested how far we can go with our practice of parliamentary democracy. Mr. Speaker, I rose from deputy leader to majority leader. In my days as a deputy leader in this house, I received a lot of good counsel, not only from our side, but from my friends opposite. I remember the quiet moments where they would call me to their office and engage me in spite of our disagreements in this house. Mr. Speaker, permit me to mention a few of them and thank them for the purpose of Hansard. Honorable Harun Idrisu, Honorable Rashid Pelpo, Honorable Kletos Avoka, my respected senior Adaba and brother, Honorable Ahiafo. Mr. Speaker, I also received good counsel from many of my own side. The first Deputy Speaker, Honorable Joe Osewusu, the second Deputy Speaker, was also very handy for us to discuss issues about governance in the chamber. But Mr. Speaker, not the least is the man I succeeded. For the purpose of Hansard once again, Mr. Speaker, this is a man who took it upon himself to get me to pay attention to parliamentary business. I always remember with nostalgia his first official travel with me all the way to Hanoi, Vietnam. In his hand was his standing orders and the Constitution. He urged upon me to always read the standing orders and encouraged me to aspire for the leadership of the House. I am happy to say that in my days as his deputy, although he is not a lawyer, he was well versed with the standing orders and the Constitution. Before I could say a word, he knows where a particular provision is. And we worked together, gave me the opportunities to shine, and eventually made way for me to succeed in. Honorable Osei Mensah Bonsu, I thank you most sincerely. You defined my leadership. You played a key role. We may have our differences, but I want to say that you have made it possible for me to stand on my feet today, especially as I enter opposition and to lead our side in minority. It is that which I learned from you that I will depend on to make a headway in my leadership. Mr. Speaker, there were great elderly senior members on my side, such as Honorable Kennedy Japon, Honorable K.T. Amon, who were also with me in moments of difficulty. I should thank also, Mr. Speaker, my colleagues in leadership, Honorable Anodompre, the Chief Whip, a workaholic being. Mr. Speaker, there were a number of times he had to sleep in Parliament to organize and make things work for me to take over as a leader. He and his deputies worked tirelessly in assisting me to manage a very difficult house. Honorable Dompre, Honorable Habib Idrisu, Honorable Alexander Tete, I say God bless you. I'm thankful to you for all you did. And my able deputy, she was more than a mother to me, to calm me in difficult moments. Her wise counsel has made it possible for me to lead the house till this day. We are both Catholics. She never ceased to remind me of the power of our rosary as Catholics. The morning prayers, the morning encouragements, calling me Kwamena, Let's pray. Madam Patricia Apieje, God bless you for all you did. And to my colleagues opposite, you made the best come out of me. I was always watching the videos of Honorable Eric Opoku. This is a man who can punch extremely hard with facts. You dare not challenge him, and I dare not challenge him, because he will take you to another level. Honorable Kwame Abuja, we were there together in opposition. Those days, we struck a good accord. We had our own esprit de corps. And when you assumed leadership, I thought I could explore that for a good way forward. You often disappointed me, but you got the best out of me. Kwame, thank you. And Ahmed Ibrahim, the deputy whip, he did all the dirty jobs. We disagreed, and I will call Ahmed and say, Ahmed, I thought you were a Pentecost elder. Why are you doing this to me? And he says that, Menstru, anyhow, but the next moment he will hit me hard. But Mr. Speaker, I also got somebody amongst them to pound small. I also took advantage of his emotions, and I provoked him lightly so that I also settle scores. My senior brother, Honorable Emmanuel Amakofibua. Mr. Speaker, I recall at one point you had to settle the matter where I would constantly parading and flagging my standing orders. And he felt it. At the end of the day, that was the beauty of democracy. And I told my brother, no more Ato. Mr. Speaker, Ato will talk to you nicely. Have a good conversation. By 5 o'clock, he will call you and tell you, Kwamena, no deal. The political committee says we can't support you. Mr. Speaker, many did not understand why I was combative on a number of occasions. There were those who didn't know how the heat was on me and were saying that you are majority leader. Reach out. Mr. Speaker, the minority were such a tough, stubborn, difficult side. Mr. Speaker, you could never have an agreement with them because they were smelling power. And I understand, rightly so. The number of government business I would have loved to complete for political expediency and perhaps for purposes of principle. I did not get the support from my respected colleague. Many were the disappointment, Mr. Speaker. I'm sad that as a house, we could not deal with the following. One, the 1G1M. Mr. Speaker, I'm still of the conviction that this was a government policy to help the private sector. Mr. Speaker, being from the private sector fraternity, there was no way I viewed the initiative as a giveaway, as a freebie. Especially so when the majority side had compromised and agreed to take away the raw materials component of the support to the private sector. But again, our colleagues could not support, not even to allow us to take some of the companies out and proceed to approve them. Mr. Speaker, the nomination of justices for the Supreme Court, which as a house, we vetted them but could not pass them, is also one disappointment to me as a leader. These are citizens of our country who by no fault of theirs have earned that fault of theirs have earned at the highest court of the land. That fault of theirs have earned at the highest court of the land. That Babudo of the men have earned at the highest court of the land. That would have contributed against their men their races the highest that you have thrown it. That would have contributed the highest of their men their races the highest that you have could not have a deal. Mr. Speaker, left it hanging. We could not have a deal. Mr. Speaker, left it hanging. I wish you, we could not have a deal. And the House could have handled the IMF World Bank $250 million to support the financial sector. This was also a facility that had gone through the committee process, and the House could have carried it for government to cushion the financial sector. But again, for good reasons known to my friends opposite me, we could not have a deal. But Mr. Speaker, the Frenchman will say, c'est la vie. This is life. We cannot push anymore, but to look forward to a new day, to also hold the new government feet to the fire. Get them to be accountable, get them to do what is right, and not get personal, but rather enrich governance of our country. Mr. Speaker, this government has achieved so much for the people of Ghana, but not a perfect government. Mr. Speaker, if our friends will today talk about corruption, I want to remind them that the call of corruption was on them when they previously ruled this country for 8 years. Many children whose parents could not afford secondary education had the opportunity of enjoying free SHS. Mr. Speaker, today, Ghanaians, 5.7 million of them, have benefited from free SHS. Mr. Speaker, another state of the economy. Not only did we have 5.7 million Ghanaian children benefiting from free SHS, we also had government introducing free TVET. Technical education was made free, and government built 34 new schools and introduced the STEM program for our children. Mr. Speaker, this government is on record to have boldly initiated the ambitious Agenda 111. These projects are at various stages of completion, and we expect that from tomorrow, the new government will take immediate steps to ensure continuous funding of these projects so that our people will get better health care. Mr. Speaker, the government, in terms of roads, added not less than 14,000 kilometers to our existing road infrastructure. And, Mr. Speaker, we expect that this new government, which takes office tomorrow, would be minded of these high achievements and even do better. Mr. Speaker, we have been told that in the area of energy, there were some corruption in certain areas. But Mr. Speaker, I beg to say that we kept the lights on, and this government ensured that electricity for households and industry was on, minimal challenges in terms of light off, as compared to what our friends left for us in 2017. Mr. Speaker, in the just ended election, the President, the Vice President ensured that they put together a team.
You are out of order.
To assist the Electoral Commission in ensuring that we had a peaceful election. Mr. Speaker, whilst I am on my feet, Honorable Nielande van der Poel will put on his mic. Mr. Speaker, he has to stop. This aspect of their intolerance, Atu spoke, even getting personal, but they can never take it. Mr. Speaker, I don't understand. Atu spoke, he even went personal. We kept quiet and listened to him. You are on your feet, on in your mic. Well, this is your nature. Mr. Speaker, we had a very peaceful election. Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, the presidential candidate of the MPP, conceded defeat long before the official declaration by the EC. But what did we witness? Violence upon violence orchestrated by the leadership of the NDC, who sent tax to collation centers, attacking Electoral Commission officials, attacking candidates, unleashing violence, and threatening our democracy. For all these conducts, we subject the NDC to posterity. I say to them that the very people they are using to unleash violence on Ghanaian people will soon come back to them. I leave them to posterity. Never again should we witness such an attack on our democracy, where at collation centers, organized tax are moved in pickups to disrupt the collation process. Mr. Speaker, whereas the MPP accepted the results and even relied on due process of law to get justice, the NDC decided to unleash violence on the Ghanaian people. Mr. Speaker, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the President of the Republic, has made his name in Ghana and in the sub-region. It is therefore not surprising that the ECOWAS recognized him and gave him a title, Mr. Democrat. Mr. Democrat for the good works he's done for democracy. For over 40 years in public service, he distinguished himself, and the sub-region celebrated him. Mr. Speaker, the 8th Parliament, however, witnessed some unfortunate, sad situations. The loss of our colleagues, Honorable Philip Baswa of Kumewu, Honorable John Ampuntua Kuma of Ejiso, as well as some 18 former members of Parliament and a former First Lady, Her Excellency Teresa Kufuor. Mr. Speaker, all these persons who were in public service passed on within the period, and I say, may their souls rest in peace. Mr. Speaker, in spite of the turbulence that the House witnessed in some few instances, my honorable colleagues in leadership and I worked so hard in ensuring that the business was conducted in a convivial and congenial atmosphere. This Parliament achieved notable legislative milestones, passing 41 bills, including Private Members' Bill, a first in our history. We facilitated the passage of 48 regulations and approved significant agreements and reports bolstering Ghana's socio-economic development. Furthermore, the 8th Parliament approved the nomination of His Lordship Justice Eni Yeboah for appointment to the High Office of Chief Justice of the Republic, and after his retirement, Her Ladyship Justice Gertrude Araba Esaba Sakitokonu took over. Mr. Speaker, the House, in all, vetted and approved 9 justices of the Supreme Court and 2 Chief Justices during its tenure. Mr. Speaker, under your leadership, you initiated the Visitors Program and the Citizens Bureau, and this strengthened public engagement and participatory democracy. Parliament also celebrated the 30th anniversary of parliamentary democracy and hosted international conferences such as the 66th Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference and ECOWAS parliamentary sessions, which took place in my constituency, Efutu. These events reinforce Ghana's commitment to democratic principles and regional cooperation. This is an outstanding achievement in the quest to enhance our democratic governance. Mr. Speaker, in spite of all these great achievements strengthening the pillars of Parliament, we in the majority have some few challenges in the manner you handle the House. There were times that we felt you were partisan, and there were times that we felt you could prevail on our colleagues better in cooperating with us. There were times that we felt we were let down. But Mr. Speaker, as you always say, you cannot do it perfect and cannot get it perfect. You did the best as you could. It's our prayer, Mr. Speaker, that as we've been notified of you presiding over the 9th Parliament and well placed in the east of this august House, we pray that the space you gave to the minority to allow the opposition to vent out its concerns, we will have same as you preside. We have no doubt on our mind that you will do that for us. Mr. Speaker, let me also, at this juncture, thank the parliamentary service staff. What would life be without them? What would life be for the MP of this parliament, the member of parliament of this 8th parliament? What would life be without them? They are the quiet councillors who are not recognized but make a lot of input to enrich debate and make us better in our legislative work. Mr. Speaker, from the clerks at table to all those who support you, every parliamentary staff, on behalf of the House.
Members, Second Deputy Speaker to take the chair.
This one too.
Yes, leader, you may continue.
On behalf of my colleagues of this august House, I say a big thank you for your service and all you've done to help us become better than we think of ourselves. Mr. Speaker, somewhere last week, when my party was considering who should lead the House, I had cause to be worried over a few issues. An elder statesman spoke to me and told me, don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. This is politics. I therefore would want to respond to my respected colleague, Dr. Casey Latefosa by telling him that he should not take it personal. I know how it is, but if everybody is given the opportunity to tell his story, maybe you realize that others might have gone through worse situations. I do not think that it is appropriate to personalize issues and mention Honorable Godfred Ojabu Adami by name for Hansen, as though he personally had an axe to grind. I will plead with you, let bygones be bygones. You know what some seniors on our side know. You know what some seniors on your side know, that everybody wish you well. So, it isn't the case that this government was such a bad government that they wanted you in jail at all costs. So please, let it slide. But I'm particularly happy that you sounded a word of caution that never again should such a thing happen in our body politics. Mr. Speaker, politics should be made attractive for those who want to wholeheartedly serve. Nobody should ever fear leaving government. Nobody should ever fear getting into government. If as a political class we mistreat ourselves, there will be nothing left for the governance of this country. I therefore would want